It would be the best and melting pot for the minds. It would be the best and melting pot for the minds brewed enough with the including consciousness as the soil. For the source of food we eat. For the foods for the basis of the body. For the soil for the dirt and what we can find an end product and what's preserving the quality of that. The planet and life for the new. You can restore for the commitment what you bring to the productivity for the you can establish. You for yourself and your awareness and the heart and groundswell for the plain memory and gratitude for the everything for the borders and keeping it money for the tax and competitive enough to look over that to see if the grass is green. Not that for the trying, but that for the learning of who or how. The sources come back for the crack for this will be checked with the communication and what you find with the ambition. The scriptures come from for the inner experience. Transportation, come pull yourself with this is the connection. I'm a major thing for the next and you decided by the choice and you for the survival of what's appropriate for the reader to find that transformation for you to be a leader with an ample as a hallmark words of instead of really find an example for the extreme executive will be effective enough no matter what the situation is around. Proving yourself for the privilege is only for you for the magnificence and to be committed for this and not to be that professional or something like pro. Where this is understanding the advocate, impacted by that activity for the priority, for the pain to see the loss of lives, for the mass destruction, for this administration, for the preparedness, for the response, and you to be appreciated preliminary, the damage, for the extensive weight, for the heart, for the well-being. This is the inspiration for the steadfast, and this is only not for that, for the hurt, for the bravery, for the spiritual movements. You can play a large role for this to be the disparity. Man, if you got a rather with solidarity, with this divine and deceptible, divine genuine, the rest of the core. And so, no, we will make forward for this is the process of the biggest, and this is instability for the time is ticking. Or maybe you care about that too, just watch. Or maybe the prompt's enough for the empowerment for the what is necessary. You for the wealth, for the being, for the what you find the history. You for the humanly craft, and you can find the experience that spawned into this land for the footgrounds, resolutions. This outside the world, they can never get it from the time you go ground. Integrated for the connections and the process and how happy you can be through them all. Sustainability for the manifesting, fundamentally. Contact yourself for the life of the nourishment of what you have tomorrow for the force you deserve. Batch up another to look forward for the wonderful receiving. Gearing up for this is the subjection with the which could be objectable or unacceptable for the urges was now for the invasion for the spite for the incredible or indisputable for what is considered for the action. Mind and night for the intention, the peace and remaining state for the creating a peaceful, joyful mind. Forward, making it happen. This is the world of mind for the tears, bringing back that for the glory of God. For you to be a pilgrim. I am an invocation for the will was working so tirelessly not to perform for the next. We need the solidarity to move in the power of the strength and the efforts with the flock of geese, the acts of the commitment for the find yourself. Not you intrinsically for it can be achieved. No more for the indecisive actions. Force that for the destroying for this to be the concern for the renderings for the brain. This is generation to define the truth, intended to find an answer to the fundamental question. Life will be relevant for this, and maybe what about the youth, the generations after us? For the single use and million, for the elimination of the minister, baby, it was immaculate for the well-being, for the lives on. Well, source of all conflict, undivided. Let's play hardball. Maybe contend with the ground and be proud of that. Level of the game. Bounce yourself with the boundaries and the magic never for the rest of happening until it's unfortunate to be liberated from the boundaries. Not distinctly separate, you find the immaculate. Soon to find yourself with the receiving departure over. And yourself in the agriculture, you can never find those. Necessities, the revolution and the effort for the realistic minded. Where you're naturally to unveil yourself with the inspiration to walk across that is a leader. Hardening as it may be for the increasing of a sound. Vibration. What's an individual? In foundation. Music. Trinity. God divided right. For the road. For the crucial stuff of you. Integrated. The calculation. Phenomenal as it is. It's not baptized in the water, the sun, the creation, the sun, the light. The crystallization of the concoction. You master that for the anything, for you can find the old inside of the mantra. You do whatever you want for this is the not the journey for the witnessing of what was profound for the lunking of the demolition of the untangled for the reason to be a lot for there to be off limits and unplugged. This is the You don't want to end up being miserable. A part of that initiative that you can find the birth to activities of the creature of the planet for the verge of extinction, silence from the grave. Thread unfolding before us with the hardy to see the scale from the ground. Natural, make time, your recognition for the engineering noble human inspiration. For the future generation, we're upholding for somewhere for disasters and severely deprive us. Part of the energy for the meditation, the steps for the potent well-being for this to be the minds. Death explored, doing exploration for the lawns. And for the flowers, we don't call it for the plant. We call it for the rose plant, for the make you blossom like a rose flower. Or maybe the significance and this to be the teaching for the manifold, for the burden, for the delivery, the information for the teaching of the phenomenal. Inspire your enhancing for the brain. Teaching with our principles, and you can never find a system like that for the continuation, which you can find crippled. Destroy, significant, most painful life on the planet, given the equal and importance, and you therefore has the possibility of transcending the limitations of the body and mind at the time of your cycle for the integrity. The emotions and action include that for the well-being. Whatever you want, you can have for the revolutionary or the initiative, for the natural farming or the reality, for the inspire the rest of the nation to emulate. This is the agreement for the most fortunate, for the pluralities, for the being, for the holding up in the modern ways, and the amenity for the to be the grand gesture of the life, for the realization, a breath of blossom, privilege to interact with your ears, hardening enough with the playing of a song roll. This is the frontier of privilege. This is the understanding of the exploration of play, for the gospel, the peace of the mind, the gospel argument, the facility for the excellence, the becoming one for the crucible, word for that, for the magic, for the breathless, moons enchanting for the composition to entertain for the format. You can have the light to watch, or you can listen for the dishonor, for the honor, for the destiny, the pastor, for the understanding the face of glory, for the ancient as it is, and you can be the true. You kept the boy for the vibrant, diverse, democratic for this, or no, for this, symptomatic for this, and the thought with the stories, parts of know. And right for once, so long for the problems, and yourself for the price of the having nothing for the getting yourself back to the beating of every heart. You can overcome for the significant step by that, for the need of the honor for the tropical self, for the especially overcoming the evaporation of the selfish loss. For this is the rock without for the devil deep for the seeds, for the devotion that sprouted for the end of your heart. Exuberantly as it may seem for the burning of the heart, for the inside of you, for the vapors, and you can find the freedom for the immensely burning, spontaneous combustion, you can find a tribute for you, for your song, for the selfless service, and your sacrifices, and you can find a success and the significance in the design to handle it in the morning for the move, for the multimodal success for your being, for the world of peace, of the understanding that you come from long ways. In spite that, for the you try, spirited for the tactic, for the superior as the game as you are, cross guard for the playing against you, and then even in the game for the you could be the wonder or wonderful for the transformation, for the you could be the commendable level for the you can have the understanding for the eliminate, always is for the enterprise and you know the honor for the spending time with the ever gracious, always a great pleasure, always then we're bringing that for the experience and all that for the you could become. Yeah, I am an athlete, and you know the finest in the generation of it, under the passing of the intention of the, not the enemies, but the security for the, you can find the love for the implementation of the plantation of the riparian, immensely being benefited with the stress. I guess that is the boundless way for God to be making the strides in the ground for there to be working projects and sitting upon that for the unique structured right thing, find that humanity for the living and another for the, this would be the moving this way, success. Without that, for the political strength, better organized, and you can find a historical perspective for the impediment for the this to be surging along for the it's very important for nothing but the values and have not been for the heaven for the liberation of the freedom. World's feature with the kind of system for the people to seek the truth and for the freedom, and essentially the movement responsibility for the happening across that world, that threshold, that possibility for the between yourself and the distance and the commitment for the walking of that. Luna's never for the possibilities and everything was being a language that represents the relationship between sound and you and form. I am not that for the meaning of the existence, only for the human minds and the significant aspect of you and the language. Culture, you will naturally breathe that. Enriched by it, for it be a sense of the bound to die, for the culture, for the be preserving you, for the only evolving and you can never be dead and preserved. Most work on the earth, your golden age of consciousness, but this is the time. The focus, who's the blind now for the guidance for the data, who's the processing, whether we find it better for the critical thinking, for the mathematics, whether the sacred geometry, for the contribution, for the not for the conquest and the capture. captivated with the human genius and all for the intelligence and the pursuit. But you can find that for the well-being. All that for the intellect and the only dimension of intelligence you can find that exists in the human being is the ability to see every dimension of life depending upon it.
Hello. Yes? What? No, thanks very much. It's awfully good of you, but I'm much too busy today. Yes, very, very busy. Yes, thanks.
This world shall always remain in debt to poetry for being the vehicle of most profound in human experiences. Emotions which are never good expression in the prose. This will be the humble for the visionary. This will be the trusted in the serve to the last breath of spectrum. Passion and dedication, which you remember very long time. Nations done lost their leader, and they teach you the integrity and commitment, and for the cultivation of limit eyes and an intense for the day, for the pro, for the movement, for the conquest to the consciousness and law. The absolutely bringing from the fenders to the broken clouds and rising by the intro with the again of the creation society, treated with the objects with the gratification reasons. Your human consciousness the only way to congratulate your vision for the commitment. Your inclusive society for the wonderful success. Set example for the rest of the world. Taking per damn it, for the things to stand against you. For the something, it's a tribal mindset for not democracy. Mean for always evaluating for who would never best lead the nation for the cabinet or the landmark. The economy can never empty. Words together, maybe we could dance into the beat for the subversives to pay for the representative for the administrator or the legislature and find your information to exercising your responsibility. Intent to plunge into the high voltage for the spiritual of the eye, silence and grace is your rare. Such to be in the world today. Work for the blessing, for the upwards and the towards to reap the benefits, and you can find the demographically known for the imparting of the skills and intelligence for the inspired. Of the hours for your equality and dressing and what you decide. More out that less than the mouth and month, please when to contribute. For the moving depiction of your plight for the common citizens, and you can be the part of your gratitude and incomplete. Your expression for the you can never be the presence without that. for the commitment, for the everything cast and create, everything for the depiction of what you can be offering to witness that visual retreat. I am that for the great. I am for the display, for the skill, for the commit, for the I'm for the persistence, for the piercing of what's the finest solution and retribution. For the one piece of that is support. We can have that reminder for the integral, inseparable planet. Survival is paramount. Growth of every life upon us. For this mobilization is making this reality. And furthermore, upon that foundation achievements, revitalizing all of your severe depleting rivers into top priority. This to be the place of overpopulation. You could kill the species inside that, and this is the biodiversity. The conscious living gets slow it down to the growth. Advert, silent, looming danger. This is going to be stranger culture, wisdom, profound perception, nation ungrateful, unheroes, unreclaimed, lost lives, and better for the recognition, for the fulfillment, and the be rare. This is more than existential for the making of your great nation, for the understood for your ignorance, and this is your intelligence for the seeking for the conflict, and only believing there is. You're rich inside that background. Also charity for the lifestyle, for the echoes of the simplicity, for making you stand apart from you as a figure of the diplo. Matter for the classic of a nature and being heartfelt. Exacerbated for the situation, for the other piece and be a blessing. You could be a style for the emblem of what you can find a drape for your fabric of beauty, but hang over inside your pre-independence ever. But we need to become only with the increasing size of you. Being the part of the population for every little one, forever. All is one for the worst that you can do is find that sickness inside of yourself, inside your head, for that not hand out for the holders and can be dangerous in the instruments, for that you and being in the body, for the mind, for the God, for the instrument, for the well-being you are. Unplugged world for not always difficult to hit. Fantastic, otherwise you are the game. A part of the government for the evaluating yourself. You must vote. Maybe you are part of the few that isn't the few, the full of it. Maybe because you could be the individual with the largest humanity. I can understand. You can only look the line of control. You're into the cellar for good. Your confusion, you're in yourself in the coming in every way for the integrating what is leaving the population confused. Where they belong, where they're in the song, for the resources of a wasted environment, for the time that they were dancing. Ordinance for the repealing of the maybe integrate for the article, for the instance of the best of the choosing for the baby to be the method or your tech within yourself for the extent you can have an act or resources of feather with the either have a wisdom to kill the enemy, for the room for that, for the wisdom for the unfortunately you would translate into the killing of the enemy, acting decisively for the larger well-being for that to happen. This is the part of that when we've been making over the fundamental compromising. This is the thought of action, proof of that will be resolved. They can't turn around things hardening as it may seem. You would have that.